Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Yoga with Concha. My name is Concha, and welcome to this yoga channel. Today, I have an amazing yogi, Kendall.
I'm a yogi now.
Kendall's a yogi. Kendall's a really good yogi. Kendall is an amazing yogi, actually.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, totally.
It's funny to hear myself being called a yogi.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever heard that, actually.
Huh.
And I've been doing it every day for like a year and a half.
So yeah, that's what you are. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that is funny to think about that.
So, so today I wanted Kendall to come on and talk to you guys a little bit about your yoga journey, your story, and how it changed your life, and you know what things you were experiencing when you first started and how you got into yoga and all of that other good stuff, right?
Yeah. So we were actually just talking about this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you taught my first ever yoga class.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's so fun. My little brother took me to your class. Yeah. And so I was starting to run again after 10 years. It was basically the only form of exercise that I had ever really done in any adult age, you know, besides like playing sports as a little kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I used to run all the time and I was really into it, and after 10 years I was finally starting again because I had gained 50 pounds because I have a pretty bad thyroid condition.
Mm-hmm.
And I was born with it. It's called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It's hypothyroidism. It means that your body can't use the energy that it's stored because your thyroid controls your metabolism, and basically my body attacked my thyroid and I don't have very much of it anymore. And it's really like, it's not a big deal. It's really easy to just replace the thyroid hormone at T4. You just take a pill every day. But my medication was too low and we didn't realize it. And for a year I didn't catch it and I gained 50 pounds and I was tired all the time because my body couldn't use that energy.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're hungry all the time, and it's a constant battle, and it's like,
definitely.
It's like, you can't do anything about it. You are hungry all the time because your body can't use the energy stored as fat, and you are trying to eat healthier, but like, it's a nightmare. And so I finally got that figured out, and I was trying to get into healthier activities, and I was trying to start running again after a long 10-year hiatus. And you can run for like a day or two, maybe 3 days in a row. You can put in a couple miles every day, and then you're sore.
Definitely.
And you're in pain. And I would always have pain in my right shoulder because I'm a very imbalanced runner, and I'll hit the ground a little harder on one leg than on the other leg.
Right.
And my legs would be really sore, and then I'd take a day off from running because my legs would be sore, and then that would turn into 2 days, and then that would turn into a week.
Right. And it was probably hard because you had a little bit of weight too.
Yeah.
So your joints were already like feeling pressured.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I thought that if I did yoga, it would one, give me something to do in the days where I just couldn't run because I was too sore, because that happens.
Right.
And two, it would just like help me with some of the pain that I was feeling, and that's what I really wanted out of it. And I did a couple of YouTube videos that were like 10-minute yoga.
Nice.
Or 15-minute yoga. And every time I was like totally out of breath, and I was like, what's
YouTube yoga.
I was like, I thought this was gonna be easy.
Right, you would think, you get on YouTube and do some yoga, you think that you're gonna be like, oh, I got this.
Yeah, and it was really hard. And so my little brother took me to one of your classes, and it was really challenging, and it was really rewarding. And I think it was like just a 60-minute class, and it was really tough.
Oh, yeah.
It might have been a 90-minute class. I can't remember. But I was out of breath.
Yeah, it was a pretty long class too.
Yeah.
But I remember you did really good.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe you remember.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was like,
Definitely.
When we did it, I had been doing YouTube videos for like a week or two.
Oh, really?
And it was just 10 minutes every day.
Yeah.
It was like 10-minute yoga. That was it.
That's so cool.
For like a week or two. And I was kind of like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
And your class, and I was like, oh my god,
You're like,
this is
no.
so hard. But I was just instantly drawn to it. I think partially because I've always been relatively flexible.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing like I am now. I can just like drop down and do the splits or anything
right.
crazy. But I've always been able
now,
to, like,
maybe now you probably can.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Now I
definitely
can. But it was So it was challenging, and it was something that I could do a little bit of,
Mm-hmm.
and so I felt good about myself and being able to do some of that stuff. But it was like. It felt like it should be easy. And I was like, why isn't this easy? And I was like, I'm gonna make it easy for myself. And it's never been easy. Like, just since then, it's never been easy. Like, it was always challenging. And the difficulty of the class is like what you want to make out of it for yourself.
Yeah.
So when there's a class that doesn't offer you as many challenges, like, you can give yourself more challenges.
Right.
Run an extra
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can hold it a little bit tighter, go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, you can like
Low
throw in
lunge
an
to
extra
high lunge.
vinyasa.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you can just one breath do an extra
Mhm.
step or something.
Mhm.
You can always make it whatever level you want it to be.
Right. Either whether it's higher or even lower.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Because I know I make it a little bit lower when I'm doing yoga.
And I have to do that too sometimes.
Yeah,
for sure.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So you
So I dropped. So in like 6 months, I dropped
Yeah.
like 50 pounds that I had gained like immediately,
Mhm.
and I probably put on like 20 pounds of muscle. So I probably dropped more than 50
Yeah,
pounds.
you've put on so much muscle.
I know, I'm like super crazy.
Oh my
right now.
gosh. Yeah. Did you guys see that chaturanga? Seriously. I can barely do a chaturanga. I mean, I've been doing yoga for a long time, but like, I guess recently has been more muscle building for me.
Yeah.
But like,
it's really challenging.
Yeah, but for the first year, I was more focused on getting flexible, getting my body stretched out, because it was just so tight and so weak. I realized, you think you're strong until you get into down dog.
And you also just like, it's kind of addicting because it feels really good at the end of every class.
Yeah, definitely.
I would walk out disgustingly sweaty. Like, I always have a towel down because I sweat gross amounts. I just like, I don't know what it is. I guess I'm just a very disgusting person.
A misty girl.
I would walk out really sweaty and really exhausted and just like on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like, as a runner, I used to run 8 miles every morning, and people always talk about
crazy.
Yeah, and people always talk about it every morning, like 7 days a week. Every morning, did not take a day off. Back when I used to run a lot, and I was also 18, so it was easier then. People always talk about like a runner's high and endorphins and everything.
Yeah.
And I just never totally got that. I never felt like insanely good after that. But I think it's just also because I like wasn't using my whole body. When you're running, you're using like some muscles and you're using stored energy, and you definitely get like a good feeling at the end of it. But it was nothing like this. Like this is like the yoga high.
Yeah, the yoga high and the yoga brain.
Yeah, and it's pretty fantastic, and I've always been like strong, and everybody in my family is really athletic and crazy about it, and my family. And they're all like, they go to the gym like 3 times a day. They're like crazy about
wake up at 4 a.m. to go on a hike.
Yeah, they and it's like because they have another fitness class to do in the afternoon or something. That's why they have to get up at 4 a.m. to do that hike, because they got a 5-mile run later in the day, so they had to squeeze that in.
Right.
So exactly. Like crazy about that, and I never really like totally got that because I never loved everything I was doing. But now that I'm doing yoga and other things now too. Like I picked up some other things.
Right, and it's good to mix it up too. It's really good to mix it up.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely.
Like if you're really feeling the vibes on yoga, then you do that. But if you got yoga and
hot Pilates.
Yeah, this girl. Hot Pilates. All the time. She went from yoga and migrated up, like hot Pilates now.
Or you do your like boxing. Or you do your cycling. Or you do whatever you like to do.
You're anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mixing it up is always really great.
Yeah. But you if you enjoy it, you come back every day and you do it. Like you always find your way back to it. And so it's just about finding something that makes you feel good.
Exactly.
And it's also something that brought a lot of balance to my life in general. You know, I constantly kind of compare like, okay, you're in this class and you have a limited time where you can do this sort of pose, like maybe a balancing pose. Maybe you're just doing tree pose. And your goal is to be able to close your eyes in tree pose. And it's really hard to balance on one foot with your eyes closed. And, you know, I mean, you don't know.
It's hard.
Just like stand up and close your eyes and see how well you can balance on one foot. Like it's actually extremely hard. And so maybe that's your goal and you're not getting there and you're falling over. Well, you know, you're never gonna get there if you stop and you are frustrated about it. Like all of a sudden, in the time that you could have gotten back up and stood on one foot and balanced, you've been sitting there being angry at yourself or frustrated with the world or feeling like something's unfair about you not being able to do this thing that you want to do, and you've missed your opportunity to actually do it. And you learn that if you fall down, you just have to go, whoops, I fell down, and kind of laugh. And it's also okay if you don't get there.
Right.
And, well, you know what? Like, you're not changing anything about it except your perspective and how you respond to something that isn't what you hoped for.
Definitely.
And that's all you can really control in life and in your job and in your family and in your relationships with people. So
totally,
it brings balance and relaxation to every part of your life.
Yeah.
And you know, you might not think you need it, but
you might not think you need it, but everyone can use a little bit of yoga.
I've never been an angry person or somebody who struggled a lot with those sorts of things. I've always managed, for the most part, to be pretty rational and level-headed and to say, well, you know, this isn't going to help in the long run to get upset about this right now. Like, we need to solve this problem, so you deal with it. You don't spend time worrying about it.
Right. But it's a very grounded approach. Like, you do something if you can, and then if you can't, then you move on.
You do what you can.
Yeah.
It's really all it is, and that's what life is about, and that's how you find your happiness. And I've always been relatively grounded in that, but it has given me, like, I never thought that I needed to take that practice into my life, but having the yoga and having all of that, like, it makes me shocked at how better I am at that and responding to things. And like, I never thought that I needed it until I had it, and then I felt like, wow, like, who knows where I will be next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because, I mean, it's all about just taking little steps. I mean, we want to take those big steps. Those feel really good too, and we do take them. But sometimes they're, you know, intimidating or scary to maybe start something new or to get into something. But then, you know, just little by little, you're working on your goal, or you're working on healing your body. And it's just that every day that you keep going, that it's just that much more that you're, you know, doing your goal. Like, I think there was a quote that said, if you work on your goal 1% every day, that's 365%. And that's a lot. You know?
I think you're past your goal at that point.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's 1% every day. Like, that's a way, you know, 365. Like,
yeah, you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you're just like, why can't I get it? Why can't I get it? And actually, that's the same thing in yoga, too. Where, like, I've been working on things like arm balances and inversions and stuff like that. And sometimes you're just like, you are trying every day and it feels like you should be able to do it. And it's so frustrating when you can't do it. But you can go like 6 months and you can't do it. And then all of a sudden you get it.
Yeah.
And it like clicks and it works.
Right. And you're like, oh my God, this actually wasn't what I thought it was. I didn't know it was going to be this smooth. Or...
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, whoa, I'm doing it. And usually the first time it's like, you get up there and you're balancing. And it's like, you're up there for a second or two. And then you're kind of like, okay, go down.
I gotta get down.
Yeah.
That's the first time I was in handstand. I was like,
oh yeah,
get me down. I know. I'm so scared.
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing? Yeah, you're like, am I upside down?
Yeah. You don't really click until you see your stuff down, like you're looking down at the floor.
Yeah, well, you're looking like this, and you're like, oh shit, that's a floor.
Right, oh yeah.
You can leave that. It's not live, right? Sorry.
I'm gonna put a little beep like, oh, boop.
Meow.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, some ridiculous sound.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. Or whatever.
I know you can do a better rooster. Yeah, and you come down, or it's just like really hard. So I've been working on. I'll do this very quickly.
Yeah,
so I've been working on this thing. It's an L-sit. It's a straddle L-sit, and it mostly uses your hip flexor strength and then your lower ab strength, and you can come up like this.
Dang.
And I can hold myself for a really long time, and I'm comfortable, and I can talk. I'm gonna come down like this. But the first time I did it, I was up for like a second.
Yeah.
I could get my butt up, but not my feet. Or I could get my feet up, but not my butt.
See, I can probably not get any of those. I'm not gonna try it, okay? Because
well, the first time that I did it, I was up for like a second or two, and then I immediately like had to do it again. I was up for like a second or two. Now I can hold it for like almost a solid minute. Yeah, it's. So the thing here is that you keep your arms with your elbow, the eye of your elbows are out, and you bring your hands down, and if you want to use both your, the strength from like your extensors and your flexors, both of them, you want to kind of make your little spider fingers on the floor, so you are both flexing your fingers. So spider fingers are like, you can either do palms down or palms up, but you kind of want to tense your fingers. Yeah. And then you're using both of your wrist, your forearm muscles to kind of help hold you up. And the goal is to have your elbows really bent a whole lot, because you can't get up if your hands are straight. Right. The only way you get up is like
no leverage.
Just like nothing. Like, where are you going? Lean in, and then you straighten your arms to bring your body up. So yeah, it's like it's really hard. It's actually like one of the like top calisthenics poses, that like pistol squat and handstand. So
nice.
Well, once you get up there, staying up there isn't as hard. It's the getting up there.
Yeah, it's getting up there.
And it's like, I actually did it on my first try in one of my classes. Because I've been doing yoga for like over a year. I've been building a crazy amount of strength, and I've been doing other things that are similar.
Totally.
And then, but it's like the first time that I did it, I was up for like a second. And I like fell back down. It's really hard.
Yeah, it is really hard. And how long have you been practicing yoga before you started doing that pose?
Oh yeah, that was like over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never even heard it. Nobody had ever suggested it as something that you can do like your L-sits where you lift your body up and everything.
See, but that's the thing, like just 1 year in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, that's partially because I was like hooked on it from day one.
Definitely.
And I just happened to try it out for the very first time near my house. Yoga studio. So I would have gone to your class every day if you weren't like 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from your rush
hour time.
Yeah, so I went to the studio that is like 2 miles from my house.
Definitely.
And not 40 minutes away each way.
Yeah, that's way too far.
It was never gonna happen. I was always like, I'll come back like occasionally.
Yeah,
so
I'll come back.
See my brother do it.
Right.
I was like, but you know, it wasn't gonna happen right away.
Totally.
But I started going to the studio near my house, and they're all strong, like strength warrior, like intense people.
All right, everyone. So the battery died when we were doing our interview. So today we're going to get down to a little bit of yoga. So we're going to begin with a little bit of beginner style foundations of yoga. Okay, so we're going to be doing Tadasana. All right, which is also known as mountain pose. Okay, so what we're going to do is stand in your mountain pose, Kendall. Like show the yoga, show all these beautiful people how it's done, and then let's talk about it. All right, so you can see that this is Tadasana right here, and Kendall has really good posture and really good foundation, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So Tadasana is a mountain pose, which is all about confidence, being grounded, feeling stable, and just feeling in your body, right? It's a very earth style of a pose. Mm-hmm. So when I was in school, I was taught starting from the feet. Right, so yeah, toes are just a little bit together. You can have your heels apart or feet side by side. And then what I like to do is just lift your toes and then rock onto the toes and then rock onto the heels and just feel the connection with your feet against the earth, right? It's very grounding, right? You feel it. And then when you start to get into your standing pose, it's almost that you can feel your ankles really sturdy to the ground with your feet connecting them there. And then you kind of bring it up to the knees and feel the knees stacked over the ankles, and then the hips stacked over the knees, and then the strength of that core foundation. It's like the base of a mountain, right? The base of a mountain is strong, like it is unwavering. Like you're gonna have to go around me or over me, but you ain't going. You can't get through this. And then from here, of course, it's kind of like the warrior poses where you kind of pull the navel in, you let the tailbone drop, and you're feeling really strong in the foundation, right? And of course, this is where our root chakra is. So the root chakra, of course, is all about feeling stable, feeling grounded, being in your body. And what a better way, which was totally unplanned, which is our red pants, right? Red is the root. Red is that root, that strong, that feeling very secure. And then, of course, green on top, heart chakra. But anyways, that's another point. But then in Tadasana, no, it wasn't planned. And it's very Christmassy.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. And then while your shoulders are rolled down the spine, right, your spine is really strong. Your spine is really long. It's almost as if there's a string pulling you up. So there's this energetic line from your heels to your hips and then all the way up. It's almost as if you're connecting into that earth energy. You're reaching for that divine presence and then connecting it right at the heart. So that's how I see Tadasana. How about you?
That's great. Yeah, so a lot of what Tadasana means for me in starting off my practice, it's kind of about like sort of finding that center, finding that midline, finding that like sense of equality. And usually I like to practice Tadasana with my eyes closed. I actually think that a lot of yoga postures are made a lot better by closing your eyes and drawing your attention inward. Definitely. I like to feel the elongation of my spine. So no back bend and no anterior tilt.
Right.
You just want to stay neutral, but you want to elongate and, like you were saying, pulling up through the head.
Yeah.
I extend out. I feel a line of energy through each of the points of my body, through my toes, through the top of my head, and through my fingertips.
How about every fingertip?
Usually mostly through just the middle, through the middle fingertip because it's the longest.
That's your fire finger.
Yeah, that's the most. Yeah, but you do feel it through all of your fingertips, and you should feel it everywhere, and it should be a sense of left and right and finding that center. And that's the main thing that Tadasana is for me.
Right.
It's usually you start off your pose, your practice, or you come back to it repeatedly in your practice, and it's supposed to be finding that center.
Right. Totally.
I think it also, all of that left, right, up, down, neutral, you are not just like, it's finding that equality between the anterior and the posterior and all of that. All the different, the tilts. And
exactly.
And finding all of that together is what you need to bring to every single pose in your practice. And so you want to these like sort of resting poses or these like easier poses. Yeah. That's what you need to find that balance and that strength in those poses and bring that into the rest of your practice.
Yeah. Yeah, and you bring up a good point, which is that mountain pose isn't just this this. It could be either one.
Yeah, and it's not, yes, exactly, yeah. And it's not, it's also not this.
Yeah, it's not that.
Like where you're tired and you're like, tired and you're just like, okay, I get to stand here for a second. It's, you still need to find the elongation of the spine.
Right, because, if you think about it, you're going to be, moving through your flow. And then by the time you start to stand up, it's almost as if you can take that breath and really feel it. And that's why you make a good point about closing the eyes, because then you can really feel it as you tune in, feel it connecting in, and maybe even, breathe in and down through the chakras and just feel that energy flowing, just a fluid in the body. So, all right.
You want to do one Tadasana with me?
Yeah.
Good. That's good. That's good. Nice clearing breath. That felt good. Thank you.
Yeah. Namaste. Namaste, everyone.
I feel like my hands are up a little higher than normal, but they should be here in your chaturanga. It's a really big mistake in chaturanga is they come down, but they lead with their shoulders. So their shoulders are past their elbows.
Exactly.
And if you don't know better, you might think that that's how it's supposed to be done, because you're trying to come down as low as possible.